So friends, today we will be concentrating on two minor grammatical themes, independent personal pronouns and demonstrative pronouns. So these are the independent personal pronouns according to the person, gender and number. And you have to memorize this. Let me go one by one. Ani, Anoki, Acha, At, Who, He, Anachenu, Nachenu, Anu. Atem, Aten, Athena, Hem, Hema, En, Hena. So in Hebrew, like how we have the personal pronouns in English, there are separate independent personal pronouns. Ani, Anoki is first common singular, meaning I. Acha, meaning you, is second masculine singular. Second feminine singular, At is you. And third masculine singular, Who, means he or it. And the he, okay, that is the Greek Hebrew term. He is the Hebrew term for she. So he is third feminine singular, meaning she or it. Now the plural forms, Nachenu or Nachenu or Anu. Any of these forms will appear. So there are three variants. In the same way, in the first common singular, you have Ani or Anoki. Nachenu, Nachenu, Anu, meaning we, which is first common plural. Atem, you, second masculine plural. Aten or Athena, second feminine plural meaning you. Hem, Hema, meaning they, third masculine plural. Hem, Hena, meaning they again, third feminine plural. All right, so you have to memorize this table and it will be helpful for you when we translate the passages. So Ani, Anoki, Ata, At, Who, He, Anahenu, Nahenu, Anu, Atem, Aten, Atena, Em, Hena, En, Hena. Ani, Anoki, Ata, At, Who, He, Anahenu, Nahenu, Anu, Atem, Aten, Athena, Em, Hena, En, Hem, Hema, and Hen, Hena. All right. So let us see some examples where you can see the presence of these independent personal pronouns. Costa, can you read the first one and second one? Costa line. Yogesh,
Sorry, sir.
can you read the first one?
Ani Adonai.
Ani Adonai. Ani Adonai. Okay, what is the translation?
I am the Lord. Ani means I.
Yeah. So what is added here?
Sorry, sir.
What is added here in the translation?
Sorry, I
It
don't
is
understand.
Ani. It is Ani Adonai, right? Ani means I.
I.
Okay, so it should be I Yahweh or I Adonai. But what is added here?
Am.
Okay, so that is the verb to be is added there. So
Yes,
if
sir.
you see the purpose of uh, independent personal pronouns, they are placed especially to give emphasis and in order to make short sentences and in order to make nominal sentences. When I say nominal sentences, That means a sentence which appears without a verb
Yes, sir.
or verbless sentence. So in this case, if you see Ani Adonai, the literal translation is I, the Lord. Okay, but am is supplied. In the translation, we supply the verb to be. Okay, so read the second one.
Uh, ha, ta, ha, ha,
Your voice is breaking.
ha, ta.
Acha, not
Ha,
acha. It is
okay. Hata.
aleph. Aleph cannot be pronounced.
Yes, sir. Atta,
Aleph cannot be pronounced, so you have to pronounce from
hata.
pata. So
Yes.
acha, acha.
Hata, hish.
No, read it properly.
Sorry. Ha, ish. Article is there.
Acha haish.
Ish.
Okay, so the translation is
You are the man.
okay. So again, if you see here, acha is you, haish is the man. So you,
The
the
man.
man. But we are supplying the verb to be there again. Okay,
Uh,
so you are the man. So the point here is
yes, sir.
whenever the independent personal pronouns are added, that doesn't mean that the verb to be comes along with it. No, we have to insert that. If you see the translation here, these are just the independent personal pronouns without any verbs. So ani, anoki, ata,
Yes.
at, who, he, anachenu, nachenu, anu, atem, aten, atena, en, hema, hen, hena. All these are independent personal pronouns. So this will appear in the beginning of a phrase or sometimes in the middle of a phrase. But then in most of the cases, if you see, we need to supply the verb to be. When it appears along with the verb, we will understand it later when we learn the verbs, because when it appears along with the verbs, it is to give emphasis, to reinforce the pronoun in the verb. Okay, so let us not worry about that. But the only concern here is that the independent personal pronouns, when they are placed in a sentence, there is a need to supply the verb to be wherever it is needed.
Hold on, sir.
Okay.
Need to continue, sir. I have to continue.
No thanks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Anna Jency,
Yes, sir.
please read the third phrase.
Yes, sir. He offer ata.
A key afar. Both are
Offer.
common. Yeah.
Yes,
Afar, ata.
ata.
Okay. What is the translation?
For you are dust.
Okay. So if you see here, it is second masculine singular. Second masculine singular independent personal pronoun. So when we are asked to pass word by word, then we should be in a position to say, okay, he is the particle, and then afar, noun, and then ata is independent personal pronoun, second masculine singular. Can you read the next phrase?
Yes, sir. Adonai hu ha Elohim.
Okay, Adonai Hu Ha Elohim. The meaning, translation.
The Lord, He is God.
Okay, the Lord, He is God. Um, which one is the independent personal pronoun here?
He.
Yeah, in Hebrew.
Who.
Yeah. Any idea what is the person, gender, and number of it?
Third person masculine. Masculine singular.
Third person, masculine, singular. Okay. Who? All right. B.S. Franklin. Franklin,
Sir, I'm not prepared, sir. Please, sorry.
now this is, you can just try reading it. We have crossed almost, halfway through.
Yes, sir.
How will you read? You can't read?
Uh, Sir, next time I will read, sir. Please, excuse me.
Next
Actual,
time, okay, all right. Nothing to worry. Next time never comes. Okay. Manoj, the next two phrases.
Ahim Enanu.
Ahim,
Enahnu.
yeah, that is the Shiva which has to be pronounced.
Enahnu.
Anachenu. Anachenu.
Enahenu.
Yeah. So here
Ahenu.
it is
But Shiva, the preceding is a accented long vowel, no?
yeah, in this case, it is actually usually the gutturals will take compound Shiva or composite Shiva, but there are some exceptions. So with that exception, if we accept, then this Shiva has to be pronounced. Because before Shiva, you have a long vowel.
Accented vowel.
Yeah, that is Munna is there. And
Yeah.
then, so it is carrying a long vowel, so it has to be pronounced. Anachenu.
Anahenu.
Achim, Anachenu means we are brothers.
We have vowels.
Yeah, so Anachenu.
Small. Sir, I have a doubt in that.
Yes, please.
So it's only after an unaccented long vowel it's vocal Shiva, right? If it is an accented long vowel, that means it's a silent Shiva.
Always after long vowel, if you see a Shiva, that is a vocal Shiva.
But
I
it should
think
be
the rules
unaccented,
you have
right?
given like that.
Unaccented vocal Shivas.
That is why
The
I didn't.
unaccented long vowel.
No, but this is accented, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
in
but in the
accented,
rule it
it's
was
silent. That is what you give in the rules.
No, not like that. Not like that.
yes, sir.
No,
It's
no.
unaccented.
Unaccented closed syllable. This is accented.
In the fifth rule for the in that points to remember it was
Which one? Which one? Which one? Please state which lesson.
it is about Shiva and vocal silent and
Yeah, please point out where when we learn. Because it is obvious that always when you come across a Shiva, and if the previous
It is given like this. A Shiva after an unaccented long vowel is always a vocal Shiva. When nothing is written about the accented long vowel.
so that means
Unaccented long vowel, a Shiva after an unaccented long vowel is always vocal Shiva.
okay. So that means
So
when accented we thought it's
long vowel is
silent
right,
Shiva.
but we don't know about the accented. That is why I didn't pronounce it in the beginning. Because I
Yeah,
thought
but-
accented long vowel, it should be silent. That is how I understood the rule
okay,
initially, but I don't
Fine.
know whether it is
fine,
right or
fine,
not.
fine. Yeah, listen, I'll check with the rules, but then there is no, maybe there is a typographical error or something it may be, but then always when you see a long vowel and after the long vowel, if you see a Shiva, it is always a vocal Shiva. And then when it comes to Kamet's Hatur, there this rule is applied For example, in order to differentiate between comets and comets are two,
Okay.
unaccented, if you come across the comets in unaccented closed syllable, and always accent is given to stress. So when stress is given, normally you will have a vocal shiva only. So stress is always to reinforce that it is a long vowel which has to be stressed, So in that case, it is a vocal shiva only. Okay, just send me that script with the mark. I'll just go through it. I will check. All right. So in that case, it is anaheno. All right. So what was the rule you read? Can you read once again, Manoj?
A Shiva, it is given in parenthesis. A Shiva after an unaccented long vowel is always vocal Shiva. Hoteli is the hotelim is the thing given. So there it is a long vowel given. But because the unaccented was written, we thought that for the accented, it would be the opposite.
No.
It is not
Accent.
written like that.
Yeah. It is not written like that. Accent.
Because
See,
of
accent.
unaccented.
Yeah, accent is always to ensure that it has to be pronounced. Always, for example, whenever we came across metek also, metek is also an accent. So always when there is a metek, and after that, if you see a shiva, if the if the vowel along with the metek is a short vowel, then also that shiva is a long. It has to be pronounced only. That means it is a vocal shiva only. But always after that is after a long vowel, if you come across a shiva, it is vocal only. There is no doubt about it. Only doubt when we have is if there is a short vowel. If there is a short vowel before a shiva, whether it has to be pronounced or not. In some cases we pronounce, in some cases we don't pronounce, because always there is a rule to say that a shiva that appears after a short vowel is a silent shiva which closes a syllable. And then sometimes that short vowel, if it carries a metek or munna, that means it is reinforcing the pronunciation. So in that case, that has to be shiva has to be a vocal shiva and not a silent shiva. If I would have given an opposite rule to that, right, then we can understand. So I'll just go through that. All right. Yeah.
The only confusion is because you wrote the unaccented long vowel. So what about the accented long vowel is not written? So we assumed like that,
Yeah. I think in when we interpret the Bible, there are two types of interpretations or two types of meanings that we can trace out. One is implied meaning, that is implicit meaning and explicit meaning. So you have taken the implicit meaning. Sorry for that. Okay. All right. So if you see here, it is first common plural. So the other variants of anachenu is anachenu, nachenu, and anu. The next example, can you just proceed, Manoj?
Va enahenu, rabim,
Yep. The translation is
and we are many.
many. Okay. Rav is many, much. So here it is in the plural form. So we are many. So in all these cases, if we see, we are supplying the verb to be. Otherwise, in the translation, in the English translation, it doesn't make any sense. So if you see here, for example, the first one, Ani Adonai. In many places, when we use the independent personal pronoun, it is to give an emphasis to that phrase. Yeah, another reason is to reduce the size of the sentence. Verbless sentences are there in Hebrew also in order to reduce the size of the sentence. And the other reason is to give emphasis. I am the Lord. Okay. And the implied meaning here is there is no other. There is none like me. I am the Lord. Okay. In some places, you will see that there is none like me or there is no one like me. But in some places, you will just see only these two words, Ani Adonai. And if you just uh, recollect or remember, the second phrase where it appears. It appears where it appears. Any idea? The conversation between Prophet Nathan and David. Yeah. So the heated
Second one.
debate.
Okay.
Exactly. So the
You are
heated
the
debate.
man.
So the heated debate or conversation ends by saying that you are the man. So there is an emphasis placed there. And then if you see the third phrase also, you are dust. You are nothing but dust. Okay? And then the next phrase, the Lord, He is God. Okay? So in all these phrases, if you see, an extra emphasis is given. And the independent personal pronouns play a major role in giving extra emphasis to these phrases. All right. The last phrase,
Sami,
yes, please.
Vehema, Hekami,
Okay. Meaning,
and they are wise.
and they are wise.
So is it like Greek in which ego, Amy, like, Amy is enough to say I am, but they will add ego also. It becomes.
Yeah. In Hebrew, especially this independent personal pronouns are more powerful. It is not simply used because when we learn the verbs, we will understand. For example, in the Hebrew verbs, already the pronouns are already there. For example, um, he killed. Okay, that the he pronoun is already there. He blessed, or you blessed, she blessed, they blessed, we blessed. So that independent personal pronoun is already there. So when you conjugate, you will conjugate along with the pronouns only. But in some places, when there is a need to emphasize, then you will see the independent personal pronoun and then the verb will appear. So it is to reinforce the idea that is mentioned in the verb. So that's also these nuances.
So in a sense,
it's a double emphasis.
Can you say like in the ha-ish, there is you, but it doesn't seem so.
Where?
In ha-ish, it is just the man. In the second one.
Yeah.
So ha-ish, it is just the man.
Yeah.
But there is a you in it. Like.
No, there is no you
in it. So there may be other instances, right?
No, when we learn the verbs, we will understand this in a greater manner. So here we are not coming across any verbs. So in the verbless sentences, we are supplying the verb to be. All right. So the role of these independent personal pronouns is to reinforce or emphasize what has been said in a strong manner. Okay. All right. So that's all to do with the independent personal pronoun. So please memorize this table. All right. And then demonstrative pronouns. Okay. In English, we have, demonstrative pronouns like this, these, that, those. Okay. When it comes to this and these there is no problem. Okay, so if you see uh, in singular form you have masculine and feminine singular. The meaning is this only, but the forms are different. Okay, ze is this masculine singular, zot is feminine singular. This, the meaning is same. But then when there is a feminine noun, zot will used. When there is a masculine noun, ze will be used. And the plural form of ze, that is these, it is la, la. Aleph, sere, accent sere, lamet with dagesh forte, followed by segol and a. These. Ze, la. Zot, la. This, these. This, these. But when it comes to that, okay, those, you can see that we have used, these words as, the independent personal pronouns. So the third masculine singular, third feminine singular, third masculine plural, third feminine plural, the same forms are used for the demonstrative pronouns. That. The masculine, who, that, feminine, he, that. And masculine plural for that is those. In the independent personal pronouns, we saw that the him will be used often and sometimes the hema. Here it is hema and hem. And for feminine plural, there it was hen, henna, and here it is henna and hen. Yeah, this will be quite confusing, but the thing is, the independent personal pronouns will be placed, okay, along with the noun, where you will be formulating a sentence by supplying the verb to be. So we can easily differentiate. When we read the text, we can differentiate. How we can differentiate? Let us see. The demonstrative pronouns will be used like the adjectives. The adjectives can be used with the attributive function and predicative function. In the attributive function, the adjective will appear after the noun. It will agree with the gender, number, and definiteness. In the predicative usage, it will appear before the noun. It will agree with the gender and number, but not with the definiteness. In the same way, when the demonstrative pronouns are used with attributive function, then the particular demonstrative pronoun will appear after the noun. It will agree with the gender, number, and definiteness. And when it comes to the predicative usage, the demonstrative pronoun will appear before the noun, and it will agree with the gender and number and not with the definiteness. There's an exceptional case of the attributive and predicative, which we have seen in the adjective also will take place, but then easily we can identify. Sometimes the demonstrative pronoun may also appear before the verb with attribute usage, but then it will agree with the gender, number, and definiteness. Now, if we see here these examples, ha makom, haze, this place. So the demonstrative pronoun is taking the attributive function here. This place. Haaretz hazot, this land. Bayom hahu, on that day. Ba'ir hahi, in that city. So in this case, if you see the Hebrew word for that, okay, who and the he, right? They are appearing with definite articles, so it is very sure that it is functioning here as demonstrative pronoun and not as independent personal pronoun. All right, and the point that we have to notice here is that because of the attribute usage, right, Makom is masculine. Makom is masculine, so that's why the demonstrative pronoun they is used. Eretz is feminine, and that's why zot is used. Yom, okay, again masculine. Who? Ir, city, feminine. That's why he is used. So in the attributive and predicative usage, also in the attributive usage especially, the demonstrative pronoun will agree with the gender, number, and the definiteness. If the noun is masculine, the demonstrative pronoun will also be masculine. If the noun is carrying definite article, the demonstrative pronoun will also carry definite article. If the noun is singular, the demonstrative pronoun also will be singular. All right. So this is the attributive usage. These are some more examples. Yes.
So in that, Marco, ha is for the definite article, right? So why don't we give the translation of the place?
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense when we translate it into English. Maybe literally we can translate this is how it appears in Hebrew, but when it comes to the Polish translation,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So if that is the case, then you have to translate it as the place, this.
Yes.
Yeah. So because of the polished form, it doesn't make sense. All right. So ha devarim, ha ele. These words, again the attributive usage of demonstrative pronouns, ha ele. They are in ha ele. These cities, again demonstrative pronoun. Okay. The first one is masculine, the second one is feminine. But in the plural form for this, you see, for masculine and feminine, for zot, ze and zot, the plural form is la only, the same form. And by yamin ahem, in those days. Okay, in those days, that is the plural form. All right. Yeah. So it is again masculine plural. Now coming to the usage of noun, adjective, and demonstrative pronoun. Okay, noun, adjective, demonstrative pronoun. Adabar, which is a noun. Agadol, which is an adjective. Aze, which is the demonstrative pronoun. So when there is a need for the adjective to appear, and when there is a need for again the demonstrative pronoun to appear, first you will see the order, noun, then adjective, and then only demonstrative pronoun. Understood? This is the order. So the meaning will be, literally if you translate the word, the great, this, but in the polished form it should be this great thing. And again, haaretz, hatova, hazot, this good land. Okay, and hamidbar, hagadol, hahu, that great wilderness. Hashanim, hatovot, haele, these good years. So sometimes you will also see that the demonstrative pronoun will appear when there is an adjective, but in that case, the placement will be first is noun, second is adjective, and the third one will be demonstrative pronoun. Yeah. Now coming to the predicative usage of demonstrative pronouns. Predicative usage of demonstrative pronouns. The same rules of adjectives. Ze ayom. Ze they is the demonstrative pronoun which is appearing before the noun. It agrees with the gender and number, but not with the definiteness because they is not carrying a definite article. So what we have to do, like how we did for the adjectives, we need to supply the verb to be here. So it is not this day, but this is the day. So there you see the definite article is translated. Okay, Deacon Marmon, you can notice here. Now the definite article is translated. The definite article of the noun is translated because it is a separate entity.
Okay, sir.
It's a separate entity. It is not connected with the, the demonstrative pronoun. It is not qualifying it. Okay, the demonstrative pronoun is not qualifying it. So we are not saying it as this day. This is the day. Okay, so in that case, we use the definite article. Zot haaretz. This is the land. Hu davar. This is the word. Hiv ha'ir hagedola. That is the great city. Okay, so now one thing you can notice here, Madam Geeta,
Yes, sir.
in the fourth phrase, the first word, what is that?
That is the great city. That sentence you are asking, sir.
Yes, exactly.
Heave.
What is that?
It is heave.
He,
Yeah, what is that? He, right?
Yeah.
it could be a
He.
demonstrative pronoun, or it could be she could also be a pronoun.
He is she, sir.
But it is here you have vav instead of yod. Why?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
demonstrative pronoun.
No, this is that is right. That is right. But what you have to understand is that I think when we didn't, this it is supposed to be he, but it is he. So especially in the book of Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Bible,
Okay.
you will come across this he instead of he in some places,
Okay.
both for the independent personal pronouns as well as for the demonstrative pronouns. So that
Okay.
time we should not be confused.
Confused. Okay.
This is an exceptional case. So this
Exceptional. Okay.
exactly. So when you see this here as demonstrative pronoun, it is he.
He.
Which has to be translated as she.
She.
All right. So it is not by mistake, or it is not a type. It is not a
Typographical.
typographical error, but
Error.
this is how it appears in the book of
Pentateuch.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy.
Aye.
So will it be wrong if you translate it, she is the great city?
Yeah. No, but no,
I mean, it
but
is there in the Revelation and all, we have that idea, no? Babylon.
yeah, but here it is not so. Yeah. All right. So LA ha devarim. These are the words. Okay. So this is how the demonstrative pronouns will appear when they take the predicative function.
Predicative.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, sir.
So in the memorization list, independent personal pronouns and demonstrative pronouns. Okay. So next class, Prayas. Ani, Anoki, Ata, At, Hu, He, Anahinu, Nahinu, Anu, Atin, Atin, Atina, Hem, Hema, Hem, Hena. And then Ze, Zot, Elle, Elle. Who, He, Hema, Hem, Hena, Hen. All right? Okay. Let us look at some of the exercises, at least one or two. Jabbar Singh,
Sir,
yeah, the homework that was given, the first one is to identify whether the verb is taking the adjective is having attributive or predicate usage. Okay, and the next one is the gender, and then next one is the number. Can you read the second phrase?
yes, sir.
Sorry, the first phrase. Example is given. Me eretz rehoka.
Errors. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the attribute usage, feminine, singular. So the first one, can you read?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Naira.
No.
Nayara.
No. It is na. Okay. Ain is not Y.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ain is not Y. You cannot pronounce Ain. So
Yes.
move on to the next element. There is a vowel.
Yes, sir.
So how will you read? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Please read.
Naira, sir.
See, na is there.
Yes, sir.
Atefata, how you will pronounce? How you will pronounce Atefata? Na-ara.
Okay, sir. Naara.
Yeah, it's a short A. Na-ara. Then the next word,
Kitana.
Ketana. Okay. The translation is
Little maid, sir.
okay, a little maid. All right. So it is attribute usage or predicate usage?
Sir, attribute.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Attribute, it is right. How do you know that it is taking attribute usage? Which one is the adjective here?
Sir, adjective is little, sir.
Yeah, that is in English, but in Hebrew. What is the word for little here in Hebrew? Small. What is the Hebrew word? Cartoon.
Yes, sir. Kitana.
Ketana. Ketana. Okay, so that is so have you done this homework?
Yes, sir, but I didn't finish, sir.
Yeah, so ketana is the adjective. And how do you know that it is taking the attributive function? What is how do you know that adjective is in the attributive position?
Sir.
What is the rule? Okay, anyone else?
Noun followed by adjective, sir.
And then?
Agrees with the gender.
Person, gender, and the definiteness.
Agrees with all, gender, number, and definiteness.
So it is describing the noun, sir.
Hello?
After
Yes?
the noun.
Yeah, it is.
Andrew, it is describing the noun, the maid. Made noun, no.
Yes.
Little, the word little describing the word made. So
Yeah.
it is adjective, no.
Yeah, it is attribute usage or predicate usage.
Pardon?
It is having the taking the attributive function or predicative function. Attribute usage or predicate usage. We have learned that adjectives have attributive function and predicative function.
Yeah.
I hope you remember what we have learned. Predicative function, attributive function. Attributive function, the adjective appears next to the noun and it
Okay.
agrees with the gender, number, and definiteness. Predicate usage, it appears before the noun. It agrees with
It
the
agrees
gender
with
and
gender,
number,
number, and
or
not
with
with
the
the
definite.
definite, not with the definiteness.
Yeah. So friends, please go through the notes, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So
Okay, okay.
yeah. So yeah, I understand what you are trying to say here. It is qualifying. It is describing the noun.
Yes,
But
sir.
the question here is whether it is uh, an attribute usage or predicate usage. It is attribute usage because here cartoon is appearing after the noun. And the second point is it is Naara is feminine. Okay, Ketana is also feminine. Naara is indefinite. Ketana is also indefinite. So in that way, we are sure that it is taking the attributive usage. So attributive, feminine, singular.
Okay, sir.
All right. Okay. So friends, let us finish today's class. But then I'm little bit disappointed with the way of the the attendance. Many are not so serious. Okay. So if you want to learn any language, you have to spend time, sacrifice. Otherwise, it will be difficult. Okay. So many are not regular, not serious, not sending the homework. So that shows that the interest is coming down. So many, all are invited. Only few are chosen, right? Okay. So I know it will come to that point, but let's wait and see. So we are halfway through. So please tell me
Right, sir.
if we have a revision test on Thursday, how many of you will be able to appear?
Sir, I will try, sir. I'll try my best.
Yeah. So we have completed so many things. All right.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Yeah. So don't think that I'll be asking alphabets and vowels. All right.
Right, sir.
So those things you should know. Maybe yeah. Let's have a test on Thursday. Revision test. First revision test. So that means I will not conduct the class on Thursday.
Okay.
There will be a revision test, and then I'll evaluate and send the papers before Saturday or Sunday. And then again we will meet on Monday and continue with the remaining portion. So we are halfway through. We will be starting with the other grammatical themes for another few weeks, and then we will be doing the final examination. If you're so serious, if you're going through the notes, if you're doing the exercises, you yourself will feel that you have learned a lot. Okay, that can be witnessed with the way how some of you are responding, right? So everything depends upon us. Good and evil kept before you. You can choose. All
Right,
right.
sir. Okay.
So
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So expect the question paper. 1 hour or 2 hours, less than that. Nothing much will be asked, just to test the way how you have learned. Okay. So I will send during the class hours only you can write. All right, 1 hour class hour we have from 7:30 to 8:30. So during that time only you can appear for the examination. And you scan it and make the individual sheets as one single PDF document. Some of you are sending the homeworks, but then I'm receiving so many images. Okay, so you have to compile those images and make as one single PDF document. That will be easy for me to evaluate. All right. So keep on revising. All the best, and I'll be sending the homework for today's class. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Sir.
Bye, sir.